Arav was driving home. It was late, very late. The road was dark and empty. Tall trees lined the sides, their branches like long, spooky fingers reaching for his car. The only light came from his headlamps, cutting a lonely path through the thick, inky blackness. He yawned. The party had been fun, but now he was tired, so tired. He just wanted to get home, crawl into his warm bed, and forget about everything. The radio played soft, quiet music. It was supposed to be calming, but tonight, it just made the silence feel bigger. The world outside his car seemed to have disappeared completely. He turned the music up a little louder, anything to fill the quiet. The road ahead was long and winding. Each turn felt like it was taking him deeper into the darkness, further away from the city lights he had left behind. He checked his rearview mirror. Nothing. Just more blackness. It was like he was the only person left in the world. He shivered, even though the car's heater was on full blast. A strange feeling crept over him, a feeling that he was being watched. He told himself it was just his imagination, just the late hour playing tricks on his mind. But the feeling wouldn't go away. It grew stronger with every kilometer he drove. His eyes darted from the road to the mirrors and back again. He saw shadows moving in the trees. Were they just branches swaying in the wind? Or was something else out there, hiding just beyond the reach of his lights? He gripped the steering wheel tighter, his knuckles turning white. He wished he had left the party earlier. He wished he wasn't alone on this creepy, deserted road. The silence was no longer just quiet, it was heavy and menacing. Suddenly, a brilliant flash of light lit up his car. It was his phone. It was ringing. The screen glowed with a number he didn't recognize. An unknown number. Who would be calling him this late? He hesitated. Should he answer it? Maybe it was a wrong number. Or maybe it was something important. The phone kept ringing, its shrill sound cutting through the quiet car like a scream. He took a deep breath. His heart was pounding like a drum against his ribs. He decided to answer it. It was probably nothing, right? "Hello?" Arav said, his voice a little shaky. He tried to sound calm. He tried to sound normal. But on the other end of the line, there was only silence. A deep, chilling silence. "Hello? Is anyone there?" he asked again, a bit louder this time. He could hear something faint. A strange noise. Was it static? No. It sounded like breathing. Quick, panicked breaths. Like someone was running. Or hiding. A cold shiver ran down his spine. This was weird. Really weird. He was about to hang up, thinking it was just a prank call. Then a voice came through the speaker. A woman's voice. It was trembling with fear. "Help me," she whispered. Her voice was thin and weak, almost lost in the static. "Please, you have to help me." Arav's heart skipped a beat. This didn't sound like a prank. This sounded real. "Who is this? Where are you?" he asked, his own voice now filled with urgency. He slowed the car down, his full attention on the call. The woman didn't answer his question. She just kept repeating the same words over and over. "He's coming," she gasped. "He's getting closer. I don't have much time." Arav's mind raced. What was going on? Who was she? And who was coming for her? He had to do something. He couldn't just ignore a call for help. "Tell me where you are. I can call the police for you," he urged, his hands gripping the phone tightly. He felt a strange connection to the frightened woman on the phone. He had to help her. He had to save her from whatever danger she was in. He felt like a hero in a scary movie. Suddenly, the line went dead. Click, just like that. The call was over. Arav stared at his phone, his mind reeling. The screen was black again. The silence in the car returned, but now it felt 100 times scarier. He pulled the car over to the side of the road, his hands trembling. What had just happened? Was it real? He tried to call the number back, but his phone told him the number could not be connected. He sat there for a long time, the darkness pressing in on him, the woman's terrified voice echoing in his head. Arav took a few deep breaths and started driving again. His heart was still racing. He tried to forget about the call. It was probably just a stupid prank, some kids having a laugh. But the fear in the woman's voice had sounded so real. He couldn't shake the feeling that something terrible was happening somewhere out there in the night. He glanced at his phone, which lay silent on the passenger seat. He hoped it wouldn't ring again. But a small part of him, a curious part, wanted it to. He needed to know what was going on. He needed answers. He was only a few minutes from home when his phone lit up again. His stomach twisted into a knot. He looked at the screen. His blood ran cold. He slammed on the brakes, the car screeching to a halt in the middle of the empty street. It couldn't be. It was impossible. The number on the screen, it was his own number. How could his own number be calling him? His mind tried to find a logical explanation. Maybe it was a glitch, a network error. It had to be. There was no other way. With a shaking hand, he answered the call. "Who is this?" he demanded, his voice barely a whisper. This time the woman's voice was clearer, but filled with even more terror than before. "It's me! You have to listen to me!" she cried. Her voice sounded strangely familiar. He felt like he had heard it somewhere before, but he couldn't place it. "How are you calling from my number?" Arav shouted, his fear turning to confusion and anger. This was not a normal prank. This was something else, something strange and terrifying. "There's no time to explain," she sobbed. "He found me! He's here!" Then came a sound that made Arav's heart stop. A loud, piercing scream. It was a scream of pure terror. It echoed through the car's speakers, and then silence. The line went dead again. Arav threw the phone onto the passenger seat as if it were on fire. He was breathing heavily, his mind a whirlwind of fear and disbelief. This was a nightmare. He had to be dreaming. He pressed the accelerator and sped towards his house, desperate for the safety of its familiar walls. Arav burst through his front door and locked it behind him. He leaned against it, trying to catch his breath. He was safe. He was home. The calls had to be over now. He walked into the living room and sank onto the sofa, his body trembling. He picked up his phone, his hand still shaking. He needed to see if there was any record of the calls. He scrolled through his call history. Nothing. No unknown number, no call from his own number. It was as if they had never happened. Was he going crazy? Just as he was about to put the phone down, a new notification appeared. A new voicemail. His finger hovered over the screen. He didn't want to listen. He was too scared of what he might hear. But he had to know. He had to understand what was happening. He pressed play. The recording started. He heard his own voice, exactly as he had sounded in the car. "Hello? Is anyone there?" Then he heard the woman's frightened whispers. He was listening to the entire conversation he had just had. A recording of a call that his phone said never happened. He listened, frozen in place, as the recording played out. He heard his own desperate attempts to help. He heard the woman's panicked cries. He heard her final blood-curdling scream. The recording should have ended there, but it didn't. After a few seconds of chilling silence, the woman's voice returned. It was calm now, and it spoke a single, horrifying sentence that made the room spin. It was a sentence that shattered his reality and plunged him into a new level of fear he never knew existed. "Arav," the voice said, soft and clear. "This is you. I'm calling you from tomorrow night." The recording ended. Arav stared into the darkness of his living room, his mind unable to process what he had just heard. The woman was him from the future? A chill ran through him as he heard a faint noise outside, a car driving slowly down his street. He looked at the clock. It was almost midnight, the same time he had been driving home. Tomorrow night had become tonight. And somewhere outside, his phone was about to ring.